So day 20 of walking the Camino begins. It's actually day 21 in Spain, but because of yesterday's day off, it's day 20 of walking. Had a lovely meal last night at an Indian restaurant in Leon, which I know sounds like an incredibly British thing to do, to go for a curry, but it was very, very nice, and it is the second best meal that I've had while in Spain after the vegetable paella in Logroño. Anyway, we've got 25 kilometers to do today. It's going to be another hot one. It's a gorgeous sunny morning already. We're heading to a place called San Martin, and had a good night's sleep. And I'm sorry to say that's because we paid for a twin room in a slightly more expensive hostel thing last night. It wasn't actually that bad. I think it was about 16 euros each, which isn't that much more than a hostel, and it just guarantees a good night's sleep, which I really wanted to have on the rest day. Anyway, going to try and find somewhere for some coffee in a moment, and keep moving before the sun gets really high and hot in the sky. So the 7k mark is just about to come up now, and we've been walking mainly through what I shall politely describe as the backside of Leon. Lots of industrial units, lots of traffic and main roads. Okay, so the brutal truth is, this stretch of the Camino out of Leon has not been very attractive at all. It's all been along a main road, a very busy main road at that, cars flying by quickly, and there hasn't been much to see. There's been quite a few little stops for coffee and drinks and refreshment, but on the whole it's kind of been quite dire. And I think it's important to share that with people, the whole warts and all side of the Camino, because I know that some people do only post the pretty pictures, and it's important to know that it's not all 100% roses. The most attractive thing that I've seen so far, or visually interesting thing, has been like a rundown church that had a giant bird's nest on each corner, and I got quite a cool photo of a bird returning back to its nest. I'll pop it up on the screen because that has genuinely been my highlight of the morning so far. So we just stopped off in Villadangos for some lunch, and that's where John Brierley actually suggests as a possible location to spend the night. But if I'm being truthful, I was quite glad to only be passing through briefly. We've got another hour to go until we reach San Martin, and we're back on the main road again, which I'm not really enjoying in the slightest. So that's it, stage 20 of the Camino over and done with. We walked for about 5 hours and 15 minutes today, and it was 24.5 kilometers. Now I know that I complained about today's path being unattractive and all the way along the main road, which it was, but there is actually a different route you can take, and we probably should have taken it. The problem is when you follow the yellow arrows so strictly as we've been doing, you tend to use them as a crutch, and you worry if you veer away from them. But today is a day where we should have done that. Take my advice, don't go via the Villa d'Angos route to San Martin, which is what I've done today. The other way is bound to be much more attractive, and apparently it's through the countryside. Anyway, gonna go back and have some food now at the hostel, which is an interesting place in itself, and gonna smash out another 25 kilometers tomorrow. So, good morning from stage 21 of the Camino, walking from San Martin to Astorga. It's going to be another 25 kilometre day, and setting off fairly early again this morning. Left about 20 past 7 because it's going to be 26 degrees Celsius. So I want to get as much of the walk over and done with before that sun gets too hot again. Now, I know that I've been grumbling a lot about, not enjoying the last few stages as much as I did at the beginning. And that's true, I'm not, but I do feel that this not enjoying part is also part of the process. And I also think that it's going to really make me appreciate the beautiful landscapes that I know are definitely coming up in the next few days. So yeah, I have moaned a lot, but I do get a real feeling that that is all part of the process. Believe it or not, a lot more people than you might think also get the bus from Leon to the town hospital to skip out this stretch. I can kind of understand why they do it. I mean, most of them are on their second, third, fourth, fifth Caminos, but for me, I'm glad I'm walking it, even though I'm not enjoying it that much. And I do feel I'm gonna learn more from this. And anyway, I'm gonna go and try and find some coffee in the next town. So just over 7.5 kilometres in now, and we passed through the town of Hospital de Orbigo a moment ago, which is a really lovely place. Fantastic bridge to cross over as you enter it, and there's lots of hostels and things there, and I kind of regret not spending the night there last night actually. Really lovely place, so that's well worth considering. As you leave, there's two options to take. You can take a more rural path and also another route that's more direct and hugs the freeway motorway again. So after yesterday's experience, we've decided to go for the more rural countryside path today, and thankfully it was very clearly signposted that you had two options. Sun's starting to get warm, so I think it's time to lose a jacket any moment now. So 14.5k mark is up, still about 9 and a bit to go I think before we reach Astorga. It's scorching hot and it's still only 11:30 in the morning, but I'm so much happier walking through the countryside. So pleased that today's path is back amongst the natural landscape rather than being beside a main road, and it just has a massive impact on my mood as well. I'm really loving it and enjoying today's walk. So 17.5 kilometres in, we've just passed a really interesting rest stop that a man has set up in, I guess, a ruined old house, but he's got really comfortable cushions and he's offering refreshments and shelter from the sun. Totally wouldn't expect to find something like that. I mean, we've just climbed a hill and we are in the middle of nowhere. It was an unusual spot. So that's the end of stage 21. Currently in Astorga. Just watched the sunset from a Roman wall that runs halfway around the perimeter. And it's a really nice place. I'm so happy to have stopped off here. And it's probably my second favourite spot so far on the Camino. Really vibrant bar scene, loads of nice little restaurants and some great architecture. The cathedral and the Gaudi Palace are just stunning. Off to bed now. Got another 25 kilometres to do tomorrow. Gonna get up early again as well. I'm gonna try and set off just before sunset because it's gonna be another hot one, and walking these distances in the full heat of the sun, it's not easy. I mean, I enjoyed today, I really did. Just being back amongst the countryside, I really did enjoy that, but that hot sun, it's punishing. In fact, I don't know how people do it in July and August. It must be so tough. I mean, this is May and you know, we're getting up to 28, 29 degrees. Anyway, visit Astorga if you get the chance. It's a cracking little place, and I'm off to bed now.
As always, thank you again for watching. Feel free to drop any Camino questions that you have into the comments section below, and I will do my best to answer them for you as soon as I can. And do hit that subscribe button because it really does motivate me into editing the next video.